Hey everybody, it's Kit here. Welcome back to the Brooks Legacy. We're back with Andy. A longer post this time. Happy hump day. And it is time to officially be back in Strangerville and Del Sol, respectively. Hope's part will be tomorrow. And for today, well, I did leave it on a cliffhanger, so you can imagine what this part and the subsequent parts are going to be like. Um, I am just gonna say that I'm basically gonna play the first few episodes by ear because I huh? Oh, I am now getting these off of my blog, and I apparently did fairly long posts. I don't know if I'm gonna do the entire thing. Um, I might not. I might cut it in half, and I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. If I don't cut it in half, basically the way I did the posts and everything else was like it was going on in tandem, like Hope and Andy. I think I've mixed this up because technically they're twins, but like Andy was the one who was born first, and I've always usually done him on Tuesdays and then Hope on Wednesdays, or like Andy first, then Hope, basically. But for Generation 3, Marin was born before Kaysen. So if I do the entire post of the entire post that I'm going off of, the Welcome to Chaos post from my blog, Kaysen ages up in this one. But Marin has already aged up by that point, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I have no idea. Just be aware that, like, yeah. Um, I don't know what I was doing. I I think at this point in the story, I was more focused on Generation 3, which meant then I was playing like Marin first, which consequently meant Hope was first. And you know what? It just got confusing. I'm confusing myself. I'm sorry about that. Just sit back and enjoy the story. Sorry. It didn't take long for reality to hit me in the face. This child is my daughter. My alien daughter. I didn't have long to get with the program. I have a close scientist contact in the private sector with whom I could trust this info, and they confirmed her paternal DNA matched mine. It was real. It had all been real. And now this is my life. Our life. Having an alien daughter is normal and weird at the same time. She acts just like a regular toddler, but at the same time she doesn't. She is quite the messy handful, however, at the same time absolutely adorable, and despite the circumstances around her birth and conception, Lisa and I can't help but love her. Our house was torn apart to accommodate the new addition, and many measures were taken to protect her identity from my superiors, curious conspiracy theorists, terrorists, evil scientists. I was paranoid. I had only a few extremely trusted contacts I convened with to make this space. Basically, no one should be able to scan for her whatsoever. The mother plant tendrils make sure that blah, 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 alien activity can't find her either. Of course, when I asked what the heck the mother plant was, they shut up. But I was desperate to protect my family, so I agreed. Thus, this is what it takes to get to her room. This isn't what I imagined for my daughter or any of my children. Gooby Kappa? Of course, right now she doesn't understand what she is or how different she is from us, even right down to her language. She speaks a language all her own, different than what my boys spoke at her age. Teaching her will be a challenge. We've tried to make this space as comfortable and homey as possible. This will be her room until she moves out. There's no way anything in her life will be normal, and I absolutely hate that for her. But this wasn't my choice, or hers, or any of ours. It just is what it is, and I will always be here to protect her, even if she doesn't want me to. Someday. Apparently, whoever came to visit and drop her off went through our belongings. The kitchen was a mess, Red was freaked out constantly, even my boys' closets were ransacked. See that fish pie in the middle of the floor? It's like someone superglued it there. I cannot move it or interact with it in any which way. Our home doesn't feel like home anymore. Not with all this change. I don't think she is very comfortable here yet. She cries and screams, not understanding anything around her. I named her Xialla. I don't know, just seemed like a good name for her heritage. But eventually, Xialla wanders and explores her surroundings. Yes, I did install cameras all around her room. I hate invading her privacy, but I may change that as she gets older. But for now, I'm just not sure what she's capable of yet, and it is for both her safety and my family's. Of course, the first one to test my security would be Red. Somehow he opened the door, or just appeared in the room. I watch and pay attention as I can, surrounded as I am by my fellow military at work. I've never felt unsafe or wary around my comrades, but now I am extremely cautious. How did you get down here, you little stinker? Phew-wee! You smell like toddler poop. A bad day at school, it seems. Only Lisa and I have access to Xialla, for now. I informed the boys they cannot tell anyone about her, not even their cousins or aunt and uncle. Not yet. I have to figure out how to tell Hope. How? I have no idea. They are upset, understandably, about this whole deal. Between school stress and home stress, they don't have a safe space to relax. I hate this too. Lisa washed our mischievous furball, and he went right to making our little girl feel at home, followed by some blocks time. Both of us thought we'd be done with teaching little tykes for a good while, at least until grandkids, but I guess the universe had something else planned. Xialla is very curious. I wonder what her homeworld is like, what she would have eaten, her parents, or mother? Uh, DNA contributing parent? Uh, Pollinator? Mm. What would have been if they hadn't sent her back to me? She loves bread and bedtime stories. She's also quite the picky eater. Oh, come on, you little rascal! Red watches her closely, even sometimes waking her up to make sure she is alive. She breathes differently than we do, more quietly and doesn't move when she sleeps. It's nerve-wracking, but my scientist contact says this is normal. Normal? What's normal anymore? Despite everything going on and the panic and turmoil in my head, I find myself happy. Xialla is absolutely precious, and I did want a daughter. More bread for our picky alien baby. I do love a good weekend dance morning. I've forgotten how hectic life could be with a toddler, but with the added stress of her unique species and circumstance, it was really difficult this time around. Not that Red seemed affected by the stress. Lisa kept up appearances with fans, continuing to post hilarious videos and good content. Eventually, I decided it was safe enough to let my little girl come upstairs, get some sunlight, and see what else life had to offer. I was concerned about someone peeking in and seeing her purple skin, but decided I would just draw the blinds. My little one was going to learn how to dance and be a Brooks today. It took a little bit for her to get used to things, but I think she enjoyed it. Dances and hugs. Now, we didn't forget about the boys. It's just, well, Oscar wouldn't speak to us, and Kason donned on a bear suit one day before his birthday. Eventually, Mama Brooks got through to Kason in her own special, funny language. Mom hugs are the best. Thankfully, we finally found something that this little picky eater would eat other than bread, and it's fruit. Fruit salad, that's always a good thing. Gotta get some vitamins in there. Does she need vitamins? I would think so. Just think that's the next thing I need to ask the scientist contact of mine. But at least she's enjoying dancing. Thankfully, Lisa and I managed to find some quiet time to do our own little hobbies, although Lisa's is more work than a hobby, but kind of still is, yet is obviously more important than mine. But, hey, it's, both of us doing our own thing. But hey, we had to have a Brooks dance party, obviously. Xialla ended up being just like my other kids, with a love of dance and a passion for some footwork. Which is good. She needs it. Yeah. And I decided to be a little brave today. Keep the blinds open. I'm a little worried about her vitamin D. Again, do aliens need that? But with 5 Sims in one house, we are out of food constantly. And Xialla, despite being picky, is a voracious little eater. Tap, tap, tap. Home swip? Hey, buddy. Great job earning all those badges. I tried to get through to Oscar with only minimal success. He's been acting out a lot lately, but even with Lisa's help, 3 kids is a lot. But I don't blame the boys. This is a lot on them. I mean, it's a lot for all of us, but they're just kids. I mean, even if Kason's birthday is tomorrow, which I haven't even had time to really think about that. I mean, imagine coming home and suddenly you have a new sister and she's so different than anything you've ever experienced. But Xialla is a sweetheart. She didn't deserve this. This isn't her fault. It's not any of our faults. But now, it was time for another age-old Brooks tradition. Play wrestle. She absolutely loved it. And it also showed Oscar his new little sister wasn't such a weird infestation bug thing, or whatever the boys thought she was. She was just like us, albeit with different eyes, pointy ears, different colored skin, a high-pitched voice, a different language. But she enjoyed a good dance session and playing with her daddy, just like the boys. It was good for all of us to see. Time to get you back to your room, Si. Eventually, it was time for her to go back to her safe room, away from prying eyes. For now, she didn't mind it, but I know soon she will. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Hey, Hope, on your way for Cason's birthday party yet? Awesome. Can't wait to see you. By the way, I have something to tell you. Ha! Kason played with a toy at Marin's party. Blaze plays with a toy at Kason's party. But first, bath time and a quick bedtime story for a little grumpy, sleepy alien tot. After that, I went upstairs to celebrate with my boy, Hope eyeing me curiously when I came up from our brand new basement she didn't know about. We both shared a look, much like we had at Marin's birthday. Our babies were growing up, and we couldn't stop them. Aw, our little boy on a special day. Happy birthday, Kason. My firstborn child was becoming a teen today. Oh man, what a journey it's been. I couldn't help but choke up as he went around and interacted with all of his guests, thanking them for coming and being the awesome host and birthday boy. His mom just about cried as he kissed him on the cheek, and I told him I was proud of him. Happy birthday, my boy Kason. You will be a bright young man with an awesome future. I just know it. He looked a lot like me. I was secretly tickled by this. He looked handsome as ever. He was going to have his pick of the ladies, I bet. Speaking of ladies, I better have that talk. You know, the one Mom was never able to have with me. That's going to be fantastic. I wonder if Hope has had that talk with Marin yet. Speaking of Hope, perhaps this would be a good time to introduce her to Zio. Or how about not? I did not want to get in the middle of an argument between mother and daughter. How about no? Nope. Hope looked exceptionally cross, and Marin smug but fuming. Two hotheads in action was enough to relocate the family to the dining room. But despite that little hiccup, and despite all of the stress and the failed attempt / rescheduling of introducing the rest of the family to Zai, the party was overall a good success, and I'm glad everyone had a good time. And later that night, while the rest of the family slept, a little girl woke up and explored, playing and learning the ways of the Sims, with a watchful Red looking after her. Eventually, I awoke and visited her, checking on her, reading her stories, and giving Red a good rub down for being a good boy, despite the fact I still don't know how he's getting in her room. We went about our days as normal as we could, but we all knew there would be nothing normal for us here in Strangerville anymore. I cooked, Lisa tended the garden, we both worked out when we could. Red continued to come in and out of the room, and the whole ordeal continued to weigh heavy on my mind. Because on one fateful night in Strangerville, a spaceship came along and picked me up, changing my life and our lives forever. I mean, this wasn't just a baby, an 18-year commitment, just like any other Sim child, but an alien. An alien in a world where aliens are not safe, and those associated with them we all dealt with this irrefutable fact in our own ways. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 1 plus 3 equals 4. Red was my rock these days, even as Lisa dealt with another death in her own family and turned to music. Seems we were surrounded by death lately. Even some of the boys had acquaintances who had died. They were shook up by it. Good night, sleepy baby, close your eyes. Of course, I spent time with Oscar as much as I could, reading him stories. Kaysen wouldn't really speak with me. He gravitated more to his mother during this transition, and Oscar to me. I made sure he knew just how much we loved him. He was alright with his little sister now, but Kaysen hadn't interacted with her. Not even once. He didn't want to. I guess he was still processing everything. And don't worry, Lisa and I made sure to make time for each other. But despite everything, Xialla is truly a precious little girl. A gift in a lot of ways, and a gift I was not expecting in the slightest, obviously. But she's a precious little angel. She's very sweet. Doesn't really cause any trouble. She loves exploring and playing and is devilishly smart. Red is obsessed with her, and I was worried about their interactions, but I really didn't need to. She's very sweet with him, and he's very kind to her. She's great with Lisa, even though she somehow knows that Lisa is not her mother. She calls me daddy. She knows I'm her dad. And yeah, this will work. It has to. Yet, despite all of the hectic plum in my life, I made it to Grand Marshal, top of my career. I wasn't proud of my service. I wasn't happy about the promotion. I was sick to my stomach. What if they find out? My family wouldn't be safe. And Xialla especially. I know what they will do to her. Where they would put her. She's so innocent. She doesn't deserve that. No one does. Keep that bright smile as long as you can, my baby. I got onto Oscar for playing in the repair trash pile soon after he returned from school one day, but, well, I somehow don't think it was as effective as it should be. Lisa, I love you. But even in this hectic life of ours, our love is strong. We will endure. We will survive. We will even thrive, because we're Brooks, and chaos just seems to be our thing. Until next time, I'm Andi Brooks, for those that don't know, and yeah, welcome to the chaos. Woo! Okay, I made it through the entire part. That was a lot. Oh my word, that was a lot. I don't remember the last time I had a frickin' video of the Brook. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say of the Brooks that was this long. Like, I don't remember the last time I had a video of the Brooks that was this long. Or over 20 minutes. And my headset doesn't remember that either because I've had to turn it back on like 4 or 5 times during this entire recording. Holy cow! Yeah, posting on Twitter versus the blog, night and day difference. I can also understand why I completely ran out of, not completely, but pretty much ran out of picture space on the blog because there were about 10 or 12 pictures in here that I just skipped. Like, I took a lot of photos. I like my photos. We all know this, but damn. However, I love Xialla. I do. I love her so much. Thank you to Tiger, by the way. You may not listen to this. You may not remember this, but I needed a baby name, and you gave me Xialla. So, thank you for that. That was a few years back now. Golly, I feel old. But yeah, so I like how Andy's life was nice and chill, and now it's not. It is definitely not. The game royally jacked my plans. Royally said, "What's that? You want that? Nah, fam, here you go." I could have returned the baby. I could have, but I've never once done it. I don't want to. Especially since, like, if you were to ask, like, what is the closest thing to, like, more like, traditional no cult gameplay, it would probably be the Brooks up until Strangerville. But I always had a plan to turn them to a cult, so that was, like, thrilling for me when he did get abducted. And also, like, maybe through the veil on some of my normal stuff, but even then, like, I'm totally fine with the occult coming in, because that is the world, that is the save that I am building. I love occult stuff, and I just would feel very horribly guilty for returning the baby. um, I canceled or terminated a pregnancy once with the MCC. I felt horrible about it for days. Okay, like I can't. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna stop rambling because holy crap, almost 30 minutes. That's insane. Um, but yeah, so tomorrow we will have Hope, and it'll be Marin's birthday and whatnot, and just know that Marin's came before Kaysen's. I don't know. I don't know how you guys watch these after the fact. I have no idea. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this, a few months from now or even a year from now. Hell if I know. But yeah. I don't really have much else left to say, so thank y'all so very much for watching and sticking around at the end. Whoever does, I hope y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. We just gotta get through today, then Thursday, then Friday, and then it's Saturday. It's the weekend. Woohoo! We can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. And don't forget, where the water's slow, legacies grow.